Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Paul over here, and today we are reacting to the legendary Swedish band ABBA. So here is something I found out, which I didn't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not know they were in Eurovision. But today I was watching a documentary on Netflix called This Is Pop. You guys can go check it out. And they were talking about how Sweden is one of the countries that is responsible for all of the pop songs out there that we know today. Sweden was responsible for the success of Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, a few songs with Pink, Celine Dion, and all of these great artists. There was this songwriter called Max Martin who did songs for with Ed Sheeran, for well, man, I could list a whole bunch of things. If you watch the documentary, you will see how Sweden had a great role in international music. And it's an amazing documentary. I think it's episode 3. Yeah, it's episode 3. Episode 1 was Boys to Men, episode 2 was Autotune, and episode 3 is the Stockholm Syndrome. And in this documentary, they mentioned ABBA was in Eurovision, and that's how they got their fame. At first, the Swedes were not very interested in ABBA, but then after they got international recognition, it actually showed the Swedes that ABBA was actually good. It wasn't bad because back then, Eurovision was more of a ballad kind of thing, classical music, and ABBA came with this kind of like rock, and they actually won. So the Swedes were actually divided, and they had a love-hate relationship with ABBA until they got international recognition, which led the Swedes to believe, you know what? I think they're actually good, so it's okay to like ABBA. So nowadays, if you say you like ABBA, it's okay. But back then, it wasn't something you would be um, praised, or it would be a surprise if you said that. Well, this is according to the documentary. And it's very interesting to find out that Sweden was responsible for all these hits. NSYNC also, they went to a studio called Chirian Studios. There's also this other Swedish producer that wrote many songs, including Childish Gambino's "This Is America," and I'm like, what? How is that even possible? So a lot of good things coming from Sweden, and once I found out that ABBA was in Eurovision, I decided, you know what, let's react to it. Eurovision 1974, and I don't know if you're Swedish. Let me know what you guys let me know what you guys think, of this reaction and ABBA and everything. Is the what the documentary said accurate? Um, yeah, I think that's it. You have to watch the documentary to understand the whole picture. I just did a small recap of what I remembered, and I was so excited. So let's do this. ABBA Waterloo. I'm reacting to this for the first time ever, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you didn't know these stories about Sweden, then you we're on the same page. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe and like if you want to. Thank you so much for the 58,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I have my coffee here. We are ready. This is my first time genuine reaction to ABBA's Waterloo Eurovision 1974. Let's go.
Corny group from Yugoslavia. Good number, that. I like that one. That's gone on my short list. And we move now across into Sweden, the largest of the Scandinavian countries.
Oh, by the way, just one last comment. Um, there was, I think Bjorn or something. He mentioned that they could sing in Swedish, but they decided to sing in English because they knew that it would, have a wider effect. And since they're in the Eurovision, it would, blow up. And another thing that I found out, which I'm sorry, but I didn't know, Roxette is Swedish, and apparently Ace of Base as well. I mean, what? Because their English is so good, I have never, ever imagined that they were Swedish. Because, I mean, come on. I know that Swedish people have good English, but when you listen to a song and it's very westernized, you don't think, oh, this is from Sweden, but yeah, and I was like, wow, this is so amazing. But then again, I also thought ABBA was American, and I think many people do, um, but I found out they were Swedish a long time ago. But before I I found out that they were Swedish, I thought they were like this big American band in the past. But now I know. And I'm so excited that Sweden has this whole huge influence in the music industry. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to know more about it. So if you're from Sweden, let me know in the comments what you guys want me to react to, these interesting stories, because I'm really, 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 after watching that episode in the documentary, the name of the name of the show is This Is Pop, and that's episode 3, Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome, and I was so excited. I was like, "What? Wow!" And I know some people from Sweden watch me, so I don't know. I'm just so excited. Let's go. Without further ado, no more talking. Sweden, ABBA, Waterloo.
Sweden, the largest of the Scandinavian countries, and although we're looking at streets, it's a country full of mountains, lakes and forests, and of course it's full of blonde Vikings, and this is one of the reasons why it's good for pictures. These are the ABBA group, born Frida, Anna, who's just beside her with the long blonde hair, and Benny. If you can work that out, that's why they're called ABBA, because in fact it's Benny born Annie Fried and Anna. They made their first record in 1972, and if all the judges were men, which they're not, I'm sure this group would get a lot of votes. You'll see why in a minute. Their song is called, oh, and it's Napoleon. Napoleon, no wonder their song is called Waterloo. This is Sven Olaf Waldorf, who's really entered into the spirit of it all, dressed as Napoleon, waiting for Waterloo by ABBA for Sweden. Watch this one.
Okay, by the tone of voice, I think this guy is like famous, legendary or something. Sven Olaf Waldorf. I don't know who he is, but by the tone of the narrator's voice, he's like, whoa, he's excited to see that this man is collaborating with the song.
Waiting for Waterloo by ABBA for Sweden. Watch this one.
History book on the shelf is almost repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo.
I can't believe ABBA was in Eurovision. I can't believe that's what made them, break out. And now that I'm watching Eurovision and I see the success of Måneskin, the documentary said that after the Eurovision performance aired and they won, ABBA exploded all over. And I saw that happen to Måneskin. I never knew who they were, and suddenly there are these rock stars. If you don't know who Måneskin is, they are this Italian rock band that completely blew up after winning the Eurovision 2021. And I was like, oh, so this is what happened to ABBA. And I had no idea. This got me so excited.
I tried to hold you back, but you were stronger. Oh yeah. And now it seems my only chance is giving up the fight. And how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. So how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo.
Wow, just amazing. Another fun fact that I saw in the documentary was that they said, and this is kind of true, the lyrics that you find in these songs are kind of like not tragic, but kind of like makes you think, right? And it's kind of like subliminal, but not subliminal in a sense that I don't know. It's not crispy clear out there for you to understand, but it has a message behind it. I don't know the exact term. I can't remember what they said in the documentary, but they gave us a few examples when they created Britney Spears's version, well, not version, but Britney Spears's music or the Backstreet Boys music. There were a few things that they inserted there in the lyrics that you're like, okay, what do they mean by that? Anyways, let's finish watching this, and we're gonna watch another one after.
How about that for an on-stage performance? Sweden, they've never won it, but they've surely got to be up amongst the reckoning with that one. It's certainly gone down well here inside the Dome in Brighton.
Okay. So we're gonna watch another one. This is the second performance, and the text says, in Brighton on April 6th, ABBA performed Waterloo in front of a rapturous audience. And then it was time for the young voting. Sorry, where did I read young? And then it was time for the voting. Watched by... Where did I read young? Okay. And then it was time for the voting. Watched by the tense group backstage. After a quarter of an hour, the results were in. ABBA were the victors. Here, a few glimpses of ABBA watching the voting are followed by their second performance of Waterloo, this time as winners. I don't know, today I can't speak properly. Okay.
Well, it looks quite exciting between Sweden, Belgium, and Italy.
Ooh,
Netherlands
Italy
coming
again.
up.
Israel, 2 votes.
Israël, 2 votes.
Sweden, 3 votes.
La Suède, 3 votes.
And that completes the voting of the Netherlands jury. Good night.
Good night.
Voici donc les résultats du jury suisse. Royaume-Uni, 1 vote.
United Kingdom, 1 vote.
Suède, 5 votes.
Sweden, 5 votes.
Oj, oj, oj! Waterloo. Och direkt efter segermelodin så ska jag försöka återkomma med det totala slutresultatet. Agneta Fältskog först, Annie-Frid Lyngstad sedan, Benny Andersson vid flygeln på högra kanten och Björn Ulvaeus vid stjärngitarren. Och nu alltså segermelodin Waterloo.
You can see they're happy, they're so joyful, but they had no idea what would come after, or what would come of this.
Waterloo. Och direkt
It's funny because they didn't go crazy, they didn't go like, you know, I don't know if that's a Swedish thing, you know, because I saw in the documentary as well that Swedes, they don't like to brag or talk about their success or their victories. There was a term for this. I can't remember now. Something. Let me see if I can find the term. Let me see if I can find. Swedes, on the other hand, remain relatively unnoticed when they reach something extraordinary. They are less prone to bragging. This is because they follow a common rule called the Jantelagen, which is the Law of Jante. Literally translated, Law of Jante. Basically, it says that you are not better than anyone else, which is amazing. I mean, it's not something that should be said. We are all equals, you know. Nobody is better than anyone, and that is so nice of Sweden to have that. It's kind of like an invisible law or an invisible rule. According to the documentary, this is not taught at home per se, but everyone knows it. It's one of those things that you have it in your culture, you have it in your blood, and you basically learn it as you grow up. Not necessarily as a rule, but something that comes naturally to you, you know. And this is so nice. So the term is Jantelagen. I think it's something like that. I'm sorry, I don't speak Swedish. So it means you are not better than anyone else, and this is so nice. Maybe I should talk about that in an upcoming video. I just know that Sweden is, today I feel like Sweden is I don't want to say deserving, but let's say that is deserving of more attention. Because it's such a nice culture, it's such a nice idea that you don't talk about your success, you don't talk about, you know, because I mean, we are all equal. So like for example, I am nothing without you guys. I basically I work hard, but at the end of the day, you guys are the ones who actually do all the work, right? Because when you like my videos, when you comment on the videos, when you take your time to watch the video, pay attention to what I'm saying, and think of a creative and positive comment that will actually lead to a discussion in the comments, that's your merit, you know. I basically do nothing other than just share my opinion, and then you guys do all the work afterwards, and I'm so grateful for that. And as you guys know, I don't like taking credit for, you know, for doing stuff, and you guys don't know how much work I put into this, and I don't really like talking about it because I know that I'm just an ordinary guy, an ordinary teacher, and I just like talking and sharing my experiences, my thoughts. And this is such a nice thing. I don't like it when people brag, and I don't like bragging myself, but I like sharing. I like sharing stories. And sometimes if I talk about my achievements, it's not to brag, it's to motivate you. Like, for example, I have the screen here, not to show off. It's not to show off. It's to remind me that I am where I was and where I want to go. It's to remind me that I'm working towards something that is gonna be inspiring for me. It's like having a certificate on the wall. When you have a certificate on the wall, it's not to brag, to show, hey, look, I passed, or I did this, I achieved this. No, it's to remind you where or how far you've come. So this is mostly for me. To be honest, this is mostly for me than for you guys. This reminds me to ask you to subscribe. This reminds me to always know where or how far I've come. And this is kind of humbling for me. It's not something it's not something I brag about, but it's something that humbles me, you know. And to be honest, whenever I want to see how the channel is doing, I go to an older video and I see how this was before. Like, for example, I take a video from 3 months ago, and I look at this small screen. I'm like, wow, in 3 months, this is how much we have grown together. So it's not a bragging thing. It's just to remind me that, look, at one point, this is this is how many subscribers you had, and now look at how it's growing, you know. And that makes me happy. That makes me feel like I'm achieving something. It's to remind me that my work is paying off. It's to keep me motivated, because at the end of the day, I'm not as confident, or I don't think I'm anything. That's the thing. That's the reality. I think I'm just a normal guy who's doing, you know, who's doing his part, who's doing what he can. And if I don't remind myself that this is growing, I will always think of myself as just someone who is doing something, which is good, but that's not motivating, right? If I forget that you guys are here for me, if I forget that you guys are, you know, enjoying my work, I forget that I matter to someone. And I kind of feel like, you know, hey, you're just someone that, you know, you're not deserving of this. So whenever I have something like this that shows me, hey, people are enjoying, people are engaging, that reminds me that I have to keep going. And you know, it's something that makes me feel good, that I'm reaching so many people, and when I read the comments, I see so many people supporting me, and that's what motivates me to keep going. Or else I would just think, you know what? Just what's the point of doing this, right? And yeah, basically it just helps me to keep on going. And at the same time, I feel like I'm just as good as you guys. You guys are just as good as me. We're all just at the same level, and I'm nothing without you guys. And basically that's it. You know, I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but I just know that what drives me to keep on going is the fact that you guys are here, and I have an audience to talk to, and I feel like we're at the same level, you know. And I don't know, this just reminds me that I'm nothing without you guys, right? So we are all in it together. We are all equal. And I've been talking for too much. This has been I'm too chatty, but it's because I really enjoyed the whole idea of Jante. You are not better than anyone else. We are all equal. And yeah, I mean, it's a humbling experience just to be here and, you know that people are listening. So thank you guys for sticking around. Let's watch the second performance, if you're still here.
efter segermelodin så ska jag försöka återkomma med det totala slutresultatet. Agneta Fältskog först, Annie-Frid Blomstad sedan, Benny Andersson vid flygeln på högra kanten och Björn Ulvaeus vid stjärngitarren. Och nu alltså segermelodin Waterloo.
It's always repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Finally facing my Waterloo. My, I tried to hold you back, but you were stronger. Oh yeah, and now it seems my only chance is still another fight. So how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. So how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo.
Ja, det här hade väl ingen av oss egentligen vågat hoppas på. Varken vi som har rest ner hit för Sveriges Radios räkning eller ABBA själva när vi talades vid några minuter innan sändningen.
That was so nice. That is so nice. Guys, I feel like we have a lot to learn from the Swedes. And yeah, basically, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. And I spoke a little bit too much, I know. And I get chatty when I feel grateful. And when I have stuff to say. You guys know me. You guys have been around enough to know that I get chatty. So I think I've said everything I wanted to say today, and I just want to thank you all for just being around and for supporting me, and for, you know, all the Pashas for being loving, all the pals for being friendly, and, you know, the Paulies for defending me, and I keep forgetting whenever I talk about the community, I always forget one. I don't know why. So it's the Pashas, so loving, the Paulies, the Pauls, and the peers. The peers always guide me the right way, and yeah. So thank you guys. I don't know if you still consider yourself one of these four, but I particularly love the Pashas and the Paulies more because they're always so loving, And if you consider yourself a peer and a pal, don't be sad. I still love you guys too. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out. Keep real. Take care now. Bye-bye.